Austraeoh by Imploding Colon, read by Deathlight, Chapter 137, Hacking. Foggy mist fell over the 4 bunkers within the western district of New Ring. Cool lantern light poured over the courtyard and surrounding alleyways as auto turrets hummed overhead. Suddenly, there was a loud clanking noise from one of the bunkers, then silence. Several seconds later, another loud ring resounded. Thirdly, a pair of hooves kicked out a grated window that rattled to the ground. The auto turrets above swiveled to face the item, beeped neutrally, and rotated back towards the dark heavens. Rainbow peered her head outside, squinting. Yep, still miserable and ugly outside. How do you unicorns bear it? Huh? The young girl stared out next to her. I don't understand. It's a beautiful night. Shh. Rainbow hissed, staring out towards the distant stars above. So, that's the way down to the training facility. More or less. I'm listening. First you go down 4 flights of steps. And then you take a left and persuade down a long hallway. Then, about 40 paces through the basement corridors, you'll find a large, round door. Through that is the training room, where we spend most of our days practicing magic and industrial aptitude tests. Okay, one last question. She glared at the Colt and the group of anxious fools surrounding him. What was all that crapola your overseer was spouting earlier about how you kids have sparkling, valuable spirits for the salvation of Darkstein industry or whatnot? There's been a break in industry, the Colt said. The obelisk that grants our city power and inspiration has descended into the earth. Duke Zobnatter feels that industry must be reinvented if we're to be successful as Darksteinians again. Yeah, and what do kids have anything to do with that? The Colts and Phillies exchanged nervous glances. Rainbow frowned. You don't have a clue, do ya? The Duke is wise and cares for our province. He's also full of hot air, I should know. Rainbow smirked. I've seen that elephant trunk he wears all the time. A series of giggles billowed from the crowd. Huh. She smirked. So Darksteinians do have a sense of humor. It's just beneath all the metal monotony. The Duke is right about many things though. The Colt said, fidgeting. We need the obelisk if we wish to prosper. Well, why not just build a new one? There's no building a new obelisk. A Philly spoke up, wide-eyed. There's only ever been one. You mean to tell me that crow was here when Darksteinians set hoof to ranch in this place? The children merely nodded. Oh. Rainbow looked out the window and sighed. As always, I'm late to the party. Well, she stood up and mounted the window. Not for much longer. Wait! The Colt grabbed her tail. Well, what about the turrets? I think I figured it out. Rainbow smirked and motioned towards them. Give me those wrenches. The Phillies and Colts hesitated. Eventually, half of them shuffled forward and hooked under Rainbow Dash. She grabbed them with both limbs and hovered with the weight of the collected tools in her grasp. Check this crud out. I'm gonna hack them. Hack them? You heard me. What about when the guards come back? A filly whispered. What about if they see the window knocked out and all these wrenches gone? Kiddo, I got the feeling that once I get down there to this training facility of yours, I'm gonna blow the lid off this place, and you're not gonna have to worry about boring old industry camp or whatever the heck this is ever again. Really? You mean we'll be able to see our parents again? Oh, absolutely. Rainbow grinned, struggling to keep all the wrenches from slipping. You'll get to hear him utter amorous sincerity. I love you, Junior, just as if you never left them. That's spectacular. Thank you, ma'am. You're so... Yes? Rainbow leaned down. Here it comes. It starts with an A. Authoritative. Rainbow Dash sighed. Frickin' eggheads. What was that? Nothing. Rainbow took a deep breath. Okay, every pony, stand back. It's time for me to, hack. The ponies parted away like a living sea. Rainbow swung her legs forward, kicking against the window frame. Propelled herself backwards and planted her rear limbs against the opposite wall, then backed off with full strength. She shot out of the bunker like a blue cannonball. creating a burst of concussive air as soon as she rocketed out of the small building. The gasping children fell back on their haunches. In the meantime, the turrets were spinning wildly in mechanized confusion. They struggled as one to zero in on the source of the sonic noise, but Rainbow Dash wasn't going to give them any time to get antiquated. Holding her breath, she spun up, spiraled about, and dove low along the walls of the courtyard. With merciless efficiency, she leaned herself sideways, and mercilessly flung a wrench at each of the turrets right as she blurred past it. Hack! Hack! Hacked you? Hacked you too! Shrapnel and metal gizmos filled the air. Hack, 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 double hack! She finished the cyclonic path with double wrenches swinging like clubs against the last standing turret. The floor is littered with bits and pieces of metal debris. As she slowly descended and touched down directly in front of the descending stairwell. Whew. She dusted her body and saddlebags off, smiling. Good thing I'm so smart, or else I'd be screwed by now. Her hoof slipped on the first stair. Ah, dang it, gah! She tumbled, rolled, pratfalled, and slid jaggedly down the winding stairway. She landed upside down in the basement corridor below. Her mane frazzled and her head injury aggravated. Staring up past 2 pairs of stiff legs, she moaned and clapped sideways in a shuddering heap. Industry hurts. Slowly, she pulled herself back up on her hooves. She paused to stare at her surroundings. The hallway was insanely long. Rainbow Dash could barely see the opposite end. The corridor was old, rusted, with grime and sediment forming thickly around the corners of the hallways and ceilings. This Darktinian summer camp, I hate to see winter camp. She trotted slowly down the corridor, putting past cold red lantern lights. A crimson glow danced through random puffs of clouds from flanking steam vents. 40 paces, 40 paces, 40 paces. She murmured aloud to herself. Just gotta find where the other kids went, and then... She froze upon hearing a muffled exclamation from the door immediately to her left. This isn't the training facility, I don't understand. Where's my sister? What did you do with flower gears? Rainbow Dash's eyes twitched. No flippin' way. She turned and faced the door frame. There was a circular entrance, much like the younger Cole had described. However, there was a bright crack of light showing through the edges. Applying a firm grip with her hooves, Rainbow was able to slide the seal open by a sliver. She peeked through the curved line and looked inside. There, she saw Flower Gears' little brother. Or, at least, whom she assumed was him. A stone-gray little foal stood at the far end of the claustrophobic compartment, his blank flank shivering in fright. As Rainbow Dash watched with bated breath, soon she found out why. The dark, towering Zobnatter was marching towards him, forcing the cult to back up into a dark panel that occupied the centermost column of the wall. Solemn confession. She who would be a blood sibling has left the flock. She is ashamed to the purpose of industry, and will suffer in aimlessness just as she who would be governmental. Reaches affirmation. You who be Darkstain's salvation shall be the first of many to bring restoration to the industry. For your spirit is pure, full of sparkling creativity. Rainbow Dash made a face. What in the hay is this joker going on about? She stopped in mid-speech, for her eyes were scanning through the thin sliver to make out the rest of the room. She saw several heavily armored guards standing side by side with sparkling poles fused over their horns. Between them, trembling and nervous, was a solid cluster of youths. What are they lined up for? I don't care about Darkstone or industry! The Cole shrieked, tears streaming down his face. I just want to see my family again! The Duke reached out a hoof, forcing the Cole to flinch with a gasp. A dark hoof caressed his mane and shin. Shh. The stallion hissed through his mask. Be grateful that you, who would be innocent, is making the sacrifice for the good of that which used to be your family. Rainbow Dash's eyes twitched. Sacrifice? She heard a loud groan of metal. Her vision darted in time to catch two armored stallions yanking at a series of levers. The panel at the far end of the wall opened wide, and Rainbow was immediately assaulted with an ethereal beam of lavender energy. She winced, panted, and blinked. She saw the lavender energy more clearly now, running straight down a black compartment just beyond the freshly opened door. Wait a second, is that... Her face paled. It's a door to the pits! The coal is being shoved straight towards the open panel. The divine declaration. Zobnat received. The obelisk must be summoned back. For the sake of the industry, be that which would be the spark. That said, the Duke spun, lifted his heavy hooves, and bucked the shrieking foal straight into the gaping abyss.